Well, welcome to All Saints Church and to our church family, and especially warm welcome as we anticipate being able to open the doors of this beautiful church, which is home to us. It's been more than 3 months since the Prime Minister asked us to keep our churches closed, and during that time, it's been hard, if we're truthful. There have been a couple of positives, and we mustn't miss those. For one thing, our YouTube broadcasts have reached out further than we'd been able to reach out before, and we know that there have been people all over the world watching, including some folk locally, and we're hoping very much that people who've got to know us through our YouTube broadcasts will be with us when we open again. And the other thing that's been a positive for most of us is that we've come to realize how precious a thing it is to be able to worship together, not just because we're in a beautiful place, but because we love to be in each other's company, and more than that, we love to worship God together. Worshipping God is what we were put on this planet for. And because the Lord Jesus Christ has one bride, that means we're one people. And when we express our unity by singing together, praising God together, and being in the same place at the same time to hear the Bible explained to us, that pleases God and it makes us happy. And that's why we've done everything in our power to make it safe for us to open again at the beginning of July after the guidance changes. So let me urge you, when that happens, to be with us, if at all possible. We'd love you to be here in person. Your company does us good.
Before coming to church, we ask that you inform us of your intention to come, if at all possible. For our regular congregation, we will take your responses to the reopening survey as your intention, unless you notify us otherwise. If you are not part of our regular congregation or you change your mind, you are still very welcome. Please let us know of your intention via this form on our website. We will always seek to accommodate everyone, including visitors, but it helps us greatly to know your intention beforehand. The church will be divided into 3 zones. The marble zone, which will be entered and exited through the accessible entrance from the graveyard. The pew zone, which will be entered and exited through the main church entrance. And the gallery zone, which will be entered and exited through the side door and the stairs to the gallery. Please always use the leftmost staircase when entering or exiting the gallery zone. You will be emailed your zone and which entrance to attend prior to the first week you attend church. You will need to bring a number of items with you. Please bring your personal Bible, your own copy of the New Christian Hymns and Sing Psalms, a face covering, and the wipes and alcohol gel that will be provided for you on the first Lord's Day which you attend. If you have a smartphone, you can download free apps for New Christian Hymns and Sing Psalms, but we will also have physical copies of New Christian Hymns and Sing Psalms at each entrance to give you when you enter the church, if you should require them. These books will remain in your possession for the duration of the pandemic and should be brought back to church with you each week. We can also provide Bibles in the same way. Likewise, disposable face coverings will be available to those who do not have their own upon arrival. If you or anyone in your household develops symptoms of COVID-19, please join the live stream of worship rather than attending church physically. You should also obtain medical advice regarding testing and track and trace. In the event you become ill, please inform our Minister of Pastoral Care, Benjamin Wantrop, so he can coordinate the pastoral response to support you in your illness. When you arrive at church, you will be greeted by a friendly steward from an appropriate social distance, who will make sure you are provided with all you need. He will also ensure that hand hygiene is as effective as possible and give you instruction on where to seat yourself. You should put your face covering on before entering the building if you have not already done so. The disposable face coverings provided for those who do not already have their own should be pinched at the nose after being put on and then pulled down over the chin. All congregants, except for children ages 0 to 10, will be required to wear face coverings out of consideration for others present. You will then be invited to enter the church and take a seat in one of the open rows or pews. Closed pews or rows will be marked with red card. As you enter, please take the furthest seat available from the entrance. During the service, we sincerely hope and pray that you will be enabled to worship our great and good God from the heart, and that you will be blessed in doing so with the Lord's people. There are a number of practical considerations, however, that we have had to put in place at this time. Face coverings should be worn by those 11 years of age and older, and a social distance of 2 meters be kept from other family units at all times. Children must also remain with their families. You may wish to wipe down your seat upon arrival, and it should be wiped down after the morning service as well, to ensure it has been cleaned for those who will occupy it during the evening service. Should you require the toilet, please note that the disabled toilet will be for use by those in the marble zone only. The normal men's and women's toilets will be for use by those in the pew and gallery zones. Only one family unit will be permitted in the toilet at a time, and any queues for the facilities should also observe the 2-meter distancing rules. Please leave the external doors to the main toilets open at all times. Children should be supervised in the toilets by a parent or guardian. For those in the gallery zone, the toilets should be accessed by exiting the church and back through the side entrance and then re-entering the church through the main doors at the front of the building. Baby changing facilities will be provided in the former cry room. If families with young children need a place to take them during the service, they may take them to the temporarily expanded cry room in the vestry. Anyone needing help locating any of these places should ask a steward who would be happy to help. The kitchen should not be used for any purpose other than access to the new baby changing facilities or cry room, and the kitchen sinks should not be used for hand washing. If you develop symptoms suggestive of COVID-19 during the service, please leave immediately with your family unit and inform Peter Lawley via email. As usual, we do not want anyone to feel pressured to partake of the Lord's Supper, but if you would like to, these will be our new practices in administering the Lord's Supper during the pandemic. The elements will be served from the empty pew or row in front of you where you are seated. The bread will be dropped into your outstretched and cupped hands. Under no circumstances should the communicants serve themselves from the basket. Larger than usual gaps will be left between glasses of wine and juice to avoid the risk of communicants touching any glass other than the one they intend to take. The glasses in the middle of the tray will contain grape juice rather than wine and can be identified by the lighter colouring of the liquid. The officiating minister, as well as the elders who serve the elements, will sanitize their hands at the start of the supper, and it is suggested that communicants do the same. Communicants are kindly asked to return their empty glasses to the trays by the door they use to exit the building. Please do not touch other glasses in the process. The session is committed to the continuance of baptism through this period, and plans have been put in place for its celebration, when required. If this is relevant to you, please contact one of the ministers. After the service, we have made provision for fellowship that importantly allows us to spend time together in such a way that also observes proper social distancing. In order to make this possible, you should remain in your zone at all times, while in the building, except for access to the toilets or baby-changing facilities. Children are to remain with their families, face coverings are to be worn, and social distancing of 2 meters is to be observed. You should, however, feel free to move within your zone to socialize while still maintaining the proper social distance from other congregants. Alternatively, there is plenty of space immediately outside the building to interact with others. It is important that you do not linger within aisles, gangways, or corridors which will be marked with 2-meter tape. Use these areas to move around the zone, but do not stop and chat in them. This is to allow others to move around as well. A good rule of thumb is to keep to your left if passing others while moving around. If you should develop symptoms of COVID-19 during this time, or are contact traced, please leave immediately and again inform Peter Lawley via email as a matter of priority. Both our live stream of services and the Zoom fellowship after the morning service will continue during this period of regathering for those who do not feel able to attend church physically because of health concerns. These services can be accessed via our YouTube channel.
Well, thanks so much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much also for bearing with us in this process as we, as a session and diaconate, are doing the best we can to put into effect all these measures to mitigate risk. But I just want to conclude with a heartfelt welcome back to church, and an invitation for you to join us. Even if you've been watching online, you're very welcome here, and may the Lord make it a joyful occasion for us all to return on Sunday the 5th. Look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.